So in this video I wanted to talk about integrating the shadow and how we end up trying to have an external relationship at times with what we're meant to be owning on the inside. Or we end up attracting that initially, and that's actually what causes a block in the actual union that we're trying to attract. And another reason for the third party at times is because, well, it can be another reason for the third party, or it can just be like a block or a bit of a problem in your relationship and something that's causing disease or trauma or chaos or just relationship issues that don't feel harmonious. It's because you're trying to have a relationship externally with something that's supposed to be part of you, which I've had happen in my own journey initially, and I kind of ran from him because I was like, oh, I don't want to be with this person. I wanted the other guy. I wanted the light aspect of him, or I wanted the integrated aspect. But what I didn't realize then was that it was me not owning my shadow. And I think it can be true as well. Sometimes people are not owning their light. But basically what I want to communicate here is when you're not owning part of self, which often comes from issues with a parent. So if we've had disharmony or trauma or that with either our mother or father, we then sort of either learn to reject their energy, or we learn to reject the opposite to them, or we didn't feel safe in one of our energies, which then made us reject that from self. And then that's been potentially the other woman or the other person of the same gender that's been kind of involved in the triangle situation, But it's also sometimes the block and what you keep attracting rather than what you want to attract. Sometimes people can end up in these dynamics of this person that won't leave them alone and is just constantly trying to message them, and it's someone that you don't want to receive from. Sorry, I hope it's not too windy here. It's someone that you feel repelled from receiving from, and often I think people don't understand what's happening here, and I didn't understand a few years ago what was happening here. And actually I feel like I didn't even fully understand until I saw it in a female connections situation. I saw her going through this, and it made me understand my version of that. And but yeah, basically we need to be integrating that energy, this thing that, or this what seems like an entity or an attachment that seems like it won't leave us alone. If you're in that situation, it's basically you need to go towards that energy within self in order to free yourself from that person externally and attract something more balanced, or attract something that feels better to receive from, that you want to receive from, whether it's the original person that you identified or otherwise. It's like we want to receive from the divine masculine or the divine feminine. We want to receive from an integrated soul, or that's what feels safe to receive from, I think, and what especially women feel open to receive from. But I think we can often be attracting this sort of splinter of self in a way, or splinter of our own energy on the outside. And we basically need to allow that to come through us rather than this external person talking to us and trying to be with us. We need to take their expression and integrate it into ourselves and allow that to be expressed through us. I think often another reason why we've abandoned this is because of what we've experienced when we've been expressing that. When we're quite young, we encounter people that can't hold space for that expression, or are triggered by us expressing that side of ourselves. So it then makes us reject it. And to some extent that kept us safe as children. But as adults, especially in these connections, it's now not really keeping us safe, because it's creating a block with us feeling whole within ourselves, and also attracting a version of the partner that we want to be with, that feels good to us. Because we're disowning an aspect of self. And it sounds like it sounds sort of inside out when you are having, like, you're trying to have this relationship externally with this person, and it sounds like that's what you should be doing. But when it's a splinter of you, when it's your shadow or your light that's not embodied, and you're trying to have an external relationship with it, you're actually sort of maintaining separation within yourself, and you need to pull them into you to then attract a more whole other. And that's what I've noticed over time. Like, I've sort of done this consciously to some degree, but also it's just sort of happened as I've embodied myself, and I've noticed at times the expression of this guy that was trying to connect with me a few years ago, that I found like, to deal with. I have noticed that being expressed from me more. And yeah, it's not always a nice aspect of me, but it's like I'm now owning it rather than it trying to connect with me on the outside. It's like I'm now allowing that to come through me, and being more whole with my own masculine and my own self. So, and that then allows people to come into this state of energetic autonomy, of being whole within yourself. I might do another video on energetic autonomy, but yeah, it's like that then sort of allows us to be whole within ourselves, and then able to attract another that's detached from us and is not sort of like playing out their wounds with us, and like ending up in a relationship that feels really entangled with each other. Like, the true twin partnership is detached. Like, you're like, in some ways you are dating yourself, and there is that sort of connection, but it's a you're over there with your stuff and I'm over here with my stuff, and we're not projecting and taking that out on each other, because that sort of dance is happening within the self instead, and you're sort of whole within your own energetic field, so then you can relate to them as a separate whole, you know, rather than the other half of you. Do you know what I mean? In a way they are the other half of you, like on a higher level. They're the other half of a higher soul aspect, but yeah, not in an entangled way. It's like, and down here, or in the sort of 3D physical, it's like they are a complement to your wholeness rather than your other half. I feel like I want to leave that there. That was quite a powerful statement. The person that you're supposed to be with physically is a complement to your wholeness, not your other half. And you need to integrate your other half. You need to reintegrate, re-embody your father's energy or your mother's energy or your light or your shadow, whatever way you want to explain it. You have to reintegrate that and allow that to exist in your body, and allow that to be expressed through you, whether energetically or verbally or emotionally. Like, allow that to come through you to then be able to attract a partner that's not all enmeshed with that. So yeah, and it also reclaiming that into yourself also detaches this person from constantly trying to like attach to you. because like it sort of depolarizes the magnet when you're owning that. So yeah, so if you have any questions, like I always say, just leave me a comment, or anything you have to say, leave me a comment on these videos, or you are welcome to send me an email at untameyourflame@gmail.com, or if you're interested in a session, just inquire about that and I'll let you know the details on that. So yeah, I hope you're all having a nice day or evening wherever you are, and I'll chat to you again soon.